Welcome back, guys. This is Monica Kasurik.
And I'm Kyler Wilson.
And you're watching The Before,
The After,
and The After.
And it's mother effing fantastic. Yeehaw, everybody.
Hi.
So, geez, let's see. What was the last movie was Pixels. That was like 2 weeks ago, right?
I feel like it was 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago?
Maybe it was 2.
Can't have been 3 weeks. Still, it's been a while. We've missed a few movies. MI5. Are you sure Straight Outta Compton's out?
Yeah. As soon as it came out, everybody was posting about it. How awesome it was.
Man, we got to see Straight Outta Compton for real, though. Alright, so we're going to see Fantastic Four. Or Fanforstic, as I've heard 1,000 billion people call it. Fanforstic. So, I was always very on the fence with the movie, but there was a preview, like, it was like the second preview they showed. I was like, oh, okay, man, maybe this is gonna be good.
You might be in business.
But
now we're not in business.
So many people are destroying this movie. You haven't.
And this is the thing, I hadn't even heard anything about the actors themselves in the movie. The acting, all I heard is just an overall just bad movie. Like, I haven't heard or read anything specifying why exactly it's a bad movie.
Yeah, I mean, you know, most of I haven't read a whole lot of reviews, but the reviews that I have read have all been like spoiler free. They haven't really. They're like, we're not gonna, you know, we're gonna try not to ruin anything. Not that there's anything to ruin in the first place. But yeah, so it's just getting destroyed right now, which made me want to see it.
So yeah, there's my card. I want to see. Yeah, that's, you know, I'm gonna say it. I say it every time. I didn't really have the biggest intentions on seeing this because I'm like, this isn't Fantastic Four, no.
Right.
But now that everybody's ripping it, I want to see if they're actually ripping it because it deserves to be ripped, or if they're just playing along with the whole, they shouldn't have rebooted in the first place. And then,
yeah.
So this, I personally feel like this reboot is going to set the tone for other reboots in a sense.
Well, I completely agree that I want to see it now because everybody's hating on it so hard. I just gotta know, like, is it really that bad? I mean, the preview doesn't look terrible.
It just looks like,
you know, anywho, who knows? I mean, I'm actually hearing, though, worst superhero movie ever. I'm like, ever? Whoa! I've seen some bad superhero movies, man.
It's the worst superhero movie you've seen.
God, the worst.
What do you consider the worst?
Well, I guess it was a TV show. I was gonna say the original Captain America. Hell, the first Fantastic Four. Do you remember that? Like back in the early '90s.
First Fantastic Four.
Back early '90s. Yeah, it was like made for TV or something. It was terrible.
No, I don't remember that.
Dude, I'm gonna have to show you. I'm gonna have to show you clips. It's terrible. Anyways, I don't know. What would be like? Of the modern era, I think the worst superhero movie has got to be
X-Men.
No, the first Hulk.
I always forget that.
With Eric Bana.
That's really sucks. That really sucks.
So.
Because I can't remember it at all.
Well, the funny thing is, I actually really appreciate some of the things that movie did, but I definitely think it's weaker than everything else. Anywho, that's what we know going in. We'll see if we're so perturbed coming out. What do you think? You think you're gonna be really upset?
I think I'm gonna call BS on some things, but I don't know. It's just weird going into a movie expecting it to be bad based off of what everybody else says.
Yeah, our expectations have been lowered so much at this point, we might actually enjoy it.
That's what I'm thinking. It might pull a straight reversal.
So we'll let you guys know. I mean, I can tell you hands down that with Pixels, that was kind of the case, except for, like, we both wanted to see Pixels, like, moderately so. And then when everybody was hating on it, we were like, what? And, you know, didn't sway us one bit. So So I think we're gonna come out of this and give you an objective review. Is my point. So,
Open arms.
Open arms.
Open arms.
We're going to see the first showing of this, by the way. So it should be.
We start the day early.
Yeah.
I hadn't even had coffee yet.
Nope.
I don't think I brushed my teeth yet.
All right. We'll see you on the flip side, ladies and gentlemen. Deuce.
See you, love you, bye.
Deuce is.
Just deuce.
Just
deuce.
Deuce. Drop a deuce.
Darling, just a deuce.
All right, for real though. Deuces.
That pizza smells damn good in my belly right now.
Dude, look, there is not a soul here. We're gonna do this from now on. Oh man,
Ghost
it's
town.
so dead. It is literally a ghost
Zombies
town.
hit right now, it's on because we got this whole place.
Look, nobody.
Wait, we need a gun store over here.
No, there's only children's stores here. We've established this.
Damn it. Why is this a children's place?
Anyways, we doing this from now on. So we get a free drink and popcorn, and we got $2 off our tickets. We paid $13.50 to get inside of this place, and we're about to get free drink and free popcorn. We're always doing this from now on. So check this out.
Howdy folks, it's me, Colonel Sanders. I'm back,
There's
America.
nobody in this theater but me and Monica. It's
Insurance was
We will
born
never
online,
not
which
do
means
the
fewer
early
costs,
showing
which
again.
saves money. Their customer experience is virtually paperless, which saves paper.
Hager
which saves
ha.
money. They have smart online tools, so you only pay for what's right for you, which saves money. They settle claims
This is
quickly,
pretty
which
awesome,
saves
ain't it?
time, which saves money. They drive an all-hybrid clean fleet, which saves gas, which saves money.
I personally feel like if they merged some items from this movie with some items from the first movie, it would have been an amazing movie.
So I think
I feel like they should be merged. Like, I feel like, God dang.
I think that was one of the best come from behind victories. It was like the best second half ever. The first half was so bad though.
Yeah, it really took too long.
The
I think
first
it took
half
too
was
long.
so bad. I was just ripping on it the entire time in my head.
It smells like tacos and it smells so good. Anyways.
And then the second half, something changed and it like got
It did get
good.
better. Yeah. I hate that it took so long to get to that. Because then I feel like if they didn't take so long on the backstory, I feel like we could have seen more action.
Well, and I think that that's maybe what happened with everybody is like they got so beat over the head by the first half of the film, they didn't care about the second half. That's really disappointing. Because honestly, there were some really, really, really cool things. Here we are. There were some really, really, really cool things about all of that. But it is not the worst superhero movie of all time. Okay, so you probably noticed our after section kind of got cut off. I double punched the camera. For those of you who don't know what double punching is, it's where you accidentally hit record twice. And so you record, then you start to talk, and then you accidentally hit record again, and it stops. And it sucks, but we have to deal with it. I've seen some of the most amazing things ever get double punched. We actually double punched in Pigeon Forge when we were there on one of the roller coaster takes. They accidentally hit record twice, completely erased the one full take of footage.
It's a bummer.
It's a bums, but what are you gonna do? Anyways, if you couldn't tell, we weren't totally perturbed by the movie. Our after portion, it was fairly positive, mostly. There are some things that we're gonna talk about in this after that I think will be a little more scathing. But let's start with previews. Okay, so if you don't remember, we've changed our preview format. We're just going to say, based on the preview, would we watch it in the theaters, wait for DVD, Netflix, or TV? So, 99 Homes with Andy Garfield.
Netflix.
Never.
Maybe.
Never. I would say never. Based on this preview, I would not watch it.
If I'm bored on a rainy day and all of my episodes of Seinfeld are done.
Fair enough. Everest, same preview, I think. It was the same preview as the last one.
Yeah, it was the same.
I don't know, man.
Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix.
On a Monday, maybe after work.
Netflix on a Monday. Like we're starting sub genres of Netflix here. Star Wars, same trailer as always. Theaters, absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't you? Yeah, me. We going to the theater. Point Break.
FX.
Yeah, TV. Totally wait for TV.
TNT.
I'll wait for TV, and then when it, like if it blows me away what I'm watching on TV, I'll be like, well, I saw that this was on Netflix. Let me go over there real quick. But more than likely, I would never watch this movie. Like it doesn't even make sense that they're using the same characters from the original movie, but it's not in any way, shape, or form in correlation to the film. It's just, I don't know. Skip it. Goosebumps. Now this is taking it back to the like original preview they showed. Theater.
I don't think I'm gonna go to the theater to see it, but I know I'll watch it. Like we'll
Gotta
buy
go
it.
with me on my birthday, though.
You want to go see it in the theater?
On my birthday. It comes out October 16th.
I guess we're going in the theater to see it.
Got to.
With a bunch of kids
Sorry.
that don't know nothing about it.
Sometimes I go kitty. Moving on. Maze Runner Scorch Trials. This was a completely different trailer.
It was more intense. There's so much going on, though. I'm scared that...
Yeah, I think it might be too bulky.
How are they going to pack that all... Unless it's going to be another 2-hour movie like the first one.
I don't know, man. I still feel like 2 hours is going to be bulky. Based on that, I'm going to say wait for DVD.
DVD.
Boom. DVD. Moving on. Deadpool. Theater. Period.
We're going to the theater to see it. And I'm going to approach you with an open mind and an open heart.
Look, here's the one thing I'm gonna take a sidestep on real quick and just mention Deadpool. Like, this is something we should all get behind. Because if this movie fails, we're never gonna get an original sort of like out of the box comic book story again. Ever.
I don't think we're leading anywhere towards it now besides this
one. But Deadpool, it's taking a chance. It's doing an R-rated take on a superhero film, and I just don't think that we're gonna get that again. If it bombs at the box office, I don't think we're gonna see it.
It ain't gonna bomb though. Everybody's so hyped up about it. It's stupid.
But also not just not bomb, but be received well. You know, a movie that costs $100 million to make and rakes in $500 million. Everybody hates it, and nobody wants to see a second one. They're not gonna make it. You know what I mean?
Hopefully they didn't use all their jokes in the previews.
So anyways, theater, definitely. Go to the theater for this. That concludes. That was actually, I think, our shortest preview segment ever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, okay, 7. It ties. Anyways, let's go to the movie. How about it, right? Start. Did we like it? You just wasted 5 seconds.
I'm in between. I'm in the fence. I'm in the fence on this.
Literally in the fence.
I'm in the fence, and
You like Reed Richards. You kind of caught in the middle somewhere.
I am. I can't decide if I liked it or not.
Let's start here. Was it worth the movie theater experience?
No.
It wasn't worth the movie theater experience, in my opinion. But did I walk out of the film and go, you know what? I enjoyed that. I did. I have to admit, I have to be honest with myself here. I don't understand why everybody is hating on this movie so bad. We have seen some terrible, terrible superhero films that didn't get this much hate. Iron Man 2, for example, was easily as bad, if not worse.
That was a hot mess.
So, I don't know, man. I mean, I think that I did enjoy it. It's definitely not the best movie ever. It's not the best superhero movie. It's not the most original take. But I did enjoy it, by and large. You?
Yeah, it was alright.
You ain't gonna get much more out of her.
I'm pretty sure we'll get more when we continue down our list here.
Okay, we'll continue down the list. So boom, look at that. Less than 2 minutes. Stop. And start. Okay. Oh, let's see here. Let's talk about the acting.
It was as normal as it could be for the roles that were given.
There were some amazing talent booked on this film, and I don't feel like we got to see that in this movie. I don't think we got to see the talent that was there, personally.
Yeah, it's not that everybody fell flat. I just feel like everybody just kind of did this just for a paycheck.
Maybe so. And we'll get into some stuff that Josh Trank said at the end, but this like definitely feels like it turned into a paycheck movie. Like,
even watching Kate Mara on Kelly and Michael the other day, like, she had no enthusiasm about this movie whatsoever.
Oh yeah, it's in this movie.
And I'm guessing she doesn't have any enthusiasm in general.
She's just mad at her hair and that.
But
go ahead, rant real quick about the hair.
No, aren't we gonna get into that later about some things? So I just don't feel like nobody really cared about this movie, and I don't know if it's because they couldn't do anything to change how it was coming out, but.
Even some of the things really mind-boggled me, like the CG, for example, which is not something that we're going to cover really, was really bad. And I don't want to cover it because I don't want to talk about it. It was terrible, I think. Like his face changing and that kind of stuff, it was just not good. And it's like nobody put forth the effort.
Yeah, that was weird. That was the only really thing that I noticed that was kind of odd.
I didn't really like the Thing, or I thought
the Thing looked good for what it.
I would have preferred. I think I would have preferred the original Things, not the original, but like the one that Fox gave us a couple of years ago. I enjoyed that look a little better, I think.
I have my hand.
So I don't know. I don't want to like focus any time on CG, but it was something that I just didn't think was very good. And I just don't really think that the actors, I don't know. I really feel like maybe you're correct. Like everybody was just there as a paycheck. Although you'd think that somebody like Michael B. Jordan and Miles Teller would be there to put forth a bunch of effort, but
I think they probably thought they did.
I refuse to believe that.
I feel like they're probably both pompous enough to think that they did it, with.
Man, I don't know. Not with Michael B. Jordan taking a role like Creed in the new Balboa movie, and Miles Teller just coming off the success of, or not necessarily success, but the renown of Whiplash. I mean, they know both what good acting looks like.
Come-offs.
What do you guys think? Do you think that it was just a pompous, cocky thing? I don't know.
I think it was. I think for both of them.
Well, what about Ben Grimm? Who's that guy?
That's Jamie Bell.
He's a British dude?
Yeah, it's Jamie Bell. You've seen him in a lot of stuff like, what's that movie with the teleporting? Hayden Christensen.
Oh,
that movie.
Not Looper.
Teleport to that.
Dang. Jumper.
We don't remember.
Jumper.
Yeah, Jumper. He's done a lot of little things. Well, big things, but most people don't realize it's him.
Okay. Anything else to add to acting? I mean, I think we covered it. Moving on. Stop. Start. The story. So, just a brief synopsis here. Basically, we start in the past. We start with the children. We start with the children. They grow up very quickly, mind you. This is all in the first, 20 minutes of the movie. They want to crack interdimensional travel. They go across dimensions. They come back, and they're all afflicted, and then they become military weapons, basically. So this is really a two-parter. Like the first half and the second half of the film are drastically different, and the story changes very, very for a very darker tone in the later half. And I like the second half. I don't like the first half.
I feel like the first half was just wasted. I completely feel like it was wasted in order to keep from having to add any other action sequences in the film.
It was like they didn't want to do a true origin story, so they just kind of half-assed the whole thing.
I think they really thought they were doing a good origin story. I just think it was a way to keep from having to add any other action sequences in the movie, which is why we watch these or which a lot of people watch these comic book series because they like to see the action, they like to see the powers, and I don't feel like there's enough of that in there.
There definitely isn't a lot of the. I mean, I think we got more of an idea of what Doom can do over and above what the Fantastic Four can do. Like, spoiler alerts, in the second half of the film, when he comes around and starts messing shit up, like, that was pretty intense. That was really dark, too.
As he really is. So.
I mean, it was, it was violent. It might be the most violent I've seen a PG-13 Marvel movie get. Potentially. I can't think of anything where somebody's head exploded.
What's up there?
Not off the top of my head, anyway. But then, again, you go back to the first part of this movie, and it's just all, like, crummy exposition just to get them to the point. Like, I said it's like they didn't want to do an origin movie, and I'm talking about, like, how they all come together. So they just, like, threw a bunch of this shit together real quick, and then it's like, okay, now we're going to across dimensions, and they're going to come back as the Fantastic Four. It was, like, so, like, ex machina, the way everybody came together, the way Ben was included in the whole thing. It was just really clumsy. And I'm not going to call out Josh Trank yet. I got to bring myself in.
The main thing, this is one of the parts where I feel like the movie, parts of this movie were merged with the first one, I feel like it'd be an awesome movie. And one of the things is the start out. In the first one, they all basically work at this dang facility at the same time. But
they're just a team.
And then this current one, it's like, oh, we all of a sudden know each other this way. And I feel like if they just kept it at them working at the same facility, working on the same thing,
it wouldn't have felt so clunky.
Yeah, it wouldn't have felt like it was forced.
Yeah, it was just like, I mean, for lack of a better metaphor, it was like they were just hurling, the thing was just hurling boulders, just like, oh, this big event happened, and that's what caused all this. And I mean, it was just, even down to starting off when they were kids, which I don't understand why they did. Like, why did we need to establish a friendship when they were like 7, And I feel like the younger version of Reed Richards was smarter than the older version of Reed Richards. Reed Richards even gets like schooled by Dr. Doom in one scene where Dr. Doom like walks up and he like erases Reed's formula and he's like, no, this is the way it needs to be. And
I don't think he was being schooled. I think that dude was just being a pompous Iris.
Well, but he was right. Reed Richards is the smartest man in the universe, supposedly, or at least in the Marvel universe, and he totally got schooled by Dr. Doom.
I don't see it that way, but...
Well, you need to go back and watch the movie, I think. Girl.
I don't think it's really worth
it. Okay, moving on. Let me stop this and we'll start again. Okay, so the heavy-handed message in this film is that we fucked up our planet, and I don't know why, but it just annoys the shit out of me.
It didn't hit me like it did you. I honestly...
Well, Doom's whole point, like, the reason he has motivation in the second half of the film is because he's like, you've destroyed your own planet, you're not gonna destroy mine.
But I don't feel like they really said anything about it till then.
No, the entire movie was riddled with it. Like,
really?
that was Doom's. Every time Doom spoke, he was talking about how we fucked up our planet, and it was just really like
that, but I honestly don't feel like that message was as strong.
I mean, even Franklin said, like, he was like, we need to go over there to learn how to fix our own world. And I mean, that was a strong theme throughout the movie.
Okay.
And it was just so, I don't know, clearly it wasn't in your face, but it was very much in mine. And it was just seemed like a really too much of a heavy-handed thing to throw out there for this superhero movie. Like do a typical, I don't know, like do a typical like plot motivator, like, because it almost, in a weird way, it makes Doom a good guy because he's fighting for the planet, like his motivations, you almost, like, I at points found myself going, I kind of like,
aren't in all of these comic book films, it always seems that the bad guy / villain is trying to do something that is perceived to be as right.
Not in all of them, no. I mean...
But it seems to me that's...
Not even...
They have a valid reason why they're the bad guy.
Yeah, but this one actually made me kind of feel like on his side at times. You know, like I never felt bad for Mickey Rourke's character in Iron Man 2. I bring up that again specifically because...
Forget about Iron Man.
He's just like, well, you don't feel sorry for him. You know, I don't feel sorry for even Guy Pearce in Iron Man 3. And Guy Pearce was picked on. Like, hardcore picked on. Left out in the rain, that poor dude. But I don't feel bad for him. I still feel like he's an evil villain. And in this, like, Doom was, like, left on a planet, completely alone, abandoned, lived for a year. Lived for a year on this planet somehow. And now he knows that the military is going to come over and try to use the energy from the planet and weaponize it. I kind of agree with him.
He became enlightened.
Anyways, I just thought that it was a dumb plot motivator. They should have chose something different.
I mean, even though, like I said, to me it doesn't really stick out that much, but I see what you mean.
Well,
they have to have some underlying thing to.
When I get it on DVD, I'll have to do a supercut of all the times they mentioned it and
yeah, we'll have to do that. Because honestly, like I feel like sometimes I might have blacked out during some of their conversations in this movie because I felt like they were unnecessary.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Which is probably why I don't recall
anything
about the damn planet until Dr. Doom came back.
There were a lot of things. There were a lot of times in the movie where they were talking. I'm just like, this is really unnecessary. Okay. Anyways, that's all beside the point at this point. So, wanted to dedicate a fairly large portion of this to some of the really stupid things, like really, really, really stupid things.
They got so science, it was science.
Yeah. So first off, they talk about black holes. Now, I mean, you watched Interstellar with me. At this point, it's fairly common knowledge, right? Hey. You laughing at me because of the stupid timer?
Yeah, you're getting really bad at it.
Damn timer. It's like you press it and it won't go. Anyways, you know a black hole is not a hole, right? You don't open a hole and nothing falls into it or sucks into it. Like, a black hole is a mass. It's a planetary mass, right? It's just really, 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 really dense. And they talk 3 or 4 times about how a black hole is going to open up, or a black hole could have opened up and sucked everything into it. And it's just dumb.
Maybe they know something we don't.
No, they don't.
Are we sure about that?
I'm very positive about that. Again, this is like basic science stuff at this point. Like, you don't open a black hole. It's not like it's not a hole. It's not a hole.
So you mean black holes don't open? We can't go to different dimensions through black holes?
Correct, because there is no through. It is a giant mass. It's a spherical mass.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am. Moving on. That was one thing that was stupid. Other things, like other science stuff, like the backboard shattering in the science fair, but his glasses stay completely together.
Maybe they were super thick.
AKA a backboard is really, really thick and tempered, so it's not even supposed to shatter the way that it showed. Other things. Why were Franklin and Sue at the damn fair in the first place? It was like they were there recruiting, but why in the hell would a government agency or the arm of a government agency go to recruit at a high school science fair?
Maybe they were tracking him and knew what he was doing.
Well, they never, ever once said that.
She said that he almost blacked out the entire blood, so they must have been watching him. I'd assume that scientists noticing stuff like that, glitching, complete blocks, I'm pretty sure they take notice of that and be like,
negative.
Hey, somebody's over there doing something that we need to be looking at.
Yet his teacher looks at him like he's an idiot.
That teacher was an idiot.
Which is played by Homer Simpson, by the way.
Are you serious?
So how they got their powers. They show 2 of the ways that they got powers, and it was just like being on the planet and rocks falling onto the thing and fire falling into Michael B. Jordan or Johnny Storm. But then she didn't even go. And somehow she got powers. And Reed Richards becomes Stretchy Man just because the plot needed him to become Stretchy Man. Like, what was the point in showing the other two in the way that they got their powers if you're not going to show the others? And then what the fuck is with Doctor Doom? Doctor Doom, which is another stupid thing. The way that she like, oh, more like Doctor Doom. I went, oh my god. Like, what's the point in showing us the powers on the two individuals and not showing us for the other three?
Because Hollywood.
Planet Zero? You literally could name this thing anything on the planet that you want. You can name it anything. And you're going to go with Planet Zero. How un-fucking original is that? You have the power of creativity.
If they call it unobtainium, you'd be bitching about that too.
Yes. Yes, I would. And
so
have.
ultimately, the planet name almost doesn't even matter to me.
Well, I mean, it's just one of those things that stands out as like, really, man? You could have gone with anything else.
Maybe
go with
Planet Zero has some type of reference to something that we are not aware of.
It's still not smart. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. Why didn't Doom use the powers to explode the Fantastic Four's head that he used throughout the entire latter half of the movie?
Because he probably liked the challenge of not only being the most powerful person. That seems to happen a lot in these movies. The villain likes a challenge.
You're just a troll. You're just trolling right now.
I'm doing it for everybody so they don't have to do it to you. I'm not being a troll. I'm just being honest. My personal viewer thoughts.
That's not even a good thought, though.
I say she.
So then Doom, at one point towards the end, says something to Richards like, "You always tried to show me up," or something like that.
You
and I'm
always
like,
think you were smarter than me.
Yeah. No, he didn't. When did they ever show them having a battle of the wits? Ever. Not one time in the beginning of the film did they show that.
Doom had an attitude problem anyway, so...
Look, Monica has, I know, at least one gripe. She needs to go on this rant. Just allow her to do it.
What? About her hair?
Yes.
We could have done this at the end.
No. It's in the things that are stupid category.
Oh, things that are stupid. Okay, I've worked with hairstylists, and it is very important to have the hair look as natural as possible, but yet, even if it's fake, I'll have it to look as natural as possible, no matter what. No matter what that actor's day life is. I've worked with awesome hairstylists that pay very good attention to this. So I don't know what happened within this movie, but Sue Storm's hair / wigs were atrocious.
Hair looked like shit, y'all.
And I'm hoping that it wasn't nobody I know, but
dude,
no, because nobody I know would allow her hair to have looked like that half the time. Like,
it was tragic.
It was so distracting. Completely distracting. You can definitely tell, for those of you that don't know, movies aren't shot from beginning to end. They are shot in pieces and then put together. It's like night and day in every scene. It's like,
I mean, not just every scene. There were points in the middle of scenes where it's like her hair changed entirely, as if it looks like they went in and did a pickup shot or something and just inserted it, and it was like completely...
It was crazy. I don't know if there was cuts in the hairstylist department or people were quitting or what, but any hairstylist I've worked with, that is the main thing that they pay notice to. There are programs that we keep track of to keep that from happening, and maybe I don't know.
The lengths would change. The hair lengths would change.
The color would change. The setting of the wig,
the part, like, it's stuff that I was noticing.
And here's the thing:
I can only imagine her.
Makeup artists and hairstylists usually stand behind the camera while the scene is being shot to pay attention to all of that stuff. So it just makes me wonder, maybe the hairstylists weren't there to view as the scenes were being shot or whatever.
Or they just didn't care.
Or why they allowed that was so distracting.
It was.
Completely distracting. And yeah, that was my complete gripe about it. I can't believe that they couldn't get the wigs.
It was terrible.
To her hair.
It was terrible.
Color, at least. Even if you're gonna switch to a wig, why don't just start with the one wig throughout the entire movie instead of having the actor use their regular hair that is not even the same color as this wig. Just give them a wig from the beginning. Like, I just don't understand why they allowed that to look jacked up like that.
Yeah.
Like,
it was crazy, man. It's crazy. That's all I can say.
just watch. You'll notice. You'll notice
Again,
when you're watching.
I typically don't catch stuff like that. In fact, I'm not even lying. I worked on a TV show called Nashville, and we have this actor named Ed Amatrudo, and for the first 6 months, I didn't know that wasn't his hair. And then season 2 or whatever, he does this whole, or maybe it was season 3, he does this whole stand up and quit sort of scene with Juliet, and he takes his hair off, and that's the first time you ever get to see him bald, and it blew everybody's mind because
I don't remember that.
Well, you get it because you watched all of season 3. It happens. He has this stand up and walk out moment, and
He takes his hair off.
and he takes his hair
show?
off in the show, and it blew everybody's mind. It blew everybody's mind.
I did not realize he did that. Because
Yeah.
I'm about to say, are you allowed to say that?
Totally. His headshots are bald. Ed wouldn't care. But his pieces are so good. And then you see something like this, and it was just so distracting. So distracting.
It's terrible.
Anyways, I mean, I think
Makeup looked good, though. Looked amazing.
See, I thought everybody bitched on Doctor Doom on how he looked, and I'm like, I thought he looked okay. I mean,
I liked the way he looked. I mean,
he doesn't look like traditional Doctor Doom.
Yeah,
but
he didn't have the traditional mask, which a lot of people know, and there are many forms of that mask, but they're all still that mask. That's fused with his body type situation. I mean, fine. I don't know.
It still looked like Doctor Doom.
It did.
I mean,
it did.
It
really
was
did.
different, but it looked like Doctor Doom.
I guess it just caught people off guard.
And I
It
liked
caught
it.
me off
I
guard.
liked him. I mean,
I kind of liked
all
it.
in all, I really, and that's the point where I started enjoying the movie most, is when he started fucking just being a badass.
He's
So
very environmental, very
he's
one
green.
very one with this planet.
Okay, so I want to. We've beat that over the head. I want to talk now. About something Josh Trank said. Josh Trank's the director. And this is, I've got opinions on this, but geez, I don't even know where to begin. So here's what Josh Trank said on Twitter shortly after the movie's release. A year ago, I had a fantastic version of this, and it would have received great reviews. You'll probably never see it. That's reality, though. Whoa, dude. Holy crap.
Why didn't he just quit?
I mean, well, the contractual obligations, I'm sure, but
Who would take it over? Nobody.
You don't go out like this. This, honestly, bro, this makes you look like you are backstepping, not the production company. It makes you seem like you're ashamed of the product and you're just trying to toss blame onto someone. Don't do that. Jeez.
I mean, it's sad that obviously he knew it wasn't going to be good. Obviously, it seems like the actors didn't think it was going to be good. It was almost not even enough pride to even put into this movie. So I can understand their feelings.
I mean,
to just throw the blame onto somebody because he couldn't take pride in this project.
This is a guy that is reported. Some of this is I know a handful of people involved with the project in some way, shape, or form. But a lot of this has been reported in the news that he was showing up drunk to set every day, that he trashed a location, like somebody's personal home, just destroyed the interior of it. Because he was so belligerent all the time, they were having to cancel days and push days and wrap early and stuff. So they went almost a year into production. Dude, I'm sorry. It sounds to me like you got a whole film crew saying that you were the problem. So
I don't know, man. Because I've heard that Miles Teller is a douche. So I don't
maybe
know
so.
if that played with it too.
It very well could have.
Because what's her name almost let it slip on that Kelly and Michael. They asked her, they're like, "How's it working with Miles Teller?" Because everybody knows that supposedly he's a dick, and she's like, "He's a brat." And then she's like, "Well, he's just always playing jokes." No, you know, you met he was a brat. He was a dick.
That's funny.
It's okay. So I have a feeling that set was probably a hot mess in a pan.
I mean,
stirred up
I have heard it was an absolute hot mess
which
in a pan.
I could see how it reflects in the film that none of them really acted.
You know, but man, this tweet was really upsetting because everybody that worked on that film poured their heart and soul into it, like in terms of crew, poured their heart and soul into it for how many ever months, you know what I mean? Like doing everything that Josh Trank wanted, doing everything that the studio wanted, doing everything that the actors wanted, up to and including PAs just going to get coffee for people, you know? And then to come out on Twitter less than a week after the release of the film and say, "A year ago I had a fantastic version of this and it would have received great reviews. You'll probably never see it. That's reality." It's just like such a slap in the face to the people that worked on it, you know? I don't know.
I mean,
maybe I'm taking it too personal, but
I mean, I can see it because, you know, I see how hard a lot of people work on set that don't do what I do. So, you know, I've seen you do what you do, and I can see it being a slap in the face, but then again, it's almost like somebody taking your story and completely changing it, and it's not what you wanted it to be, what you knew it could be.
I mean,
and it being trashed. And
true story.
I know.
True story.
And that's me.
But
as I'm looking at it, I feel like that's how he probably saw it. But
he's the captain of the ship. You know what I mean? Like, you go down with your ship. You go down with it. You know, and you come out in a couple years in an interview and you're like, well, here's kind of some things that happen. You know, you just don't, I don't know. To berate it so publicly, so quickly, it just seemed in poor taste to me. So, Josh, if you're watching, boo.
All right, that fool call you with a job. I don't think I'm gonna go work with Josh Trank.
That man ain't gonna call for nothing. All right, moving on. Last thing. Do we want to see a sequel? I hate to say it, but I kind of do. I want to see what they would do.
They better crack a whip in there, and a sequel could be awesome, but it's gonna have to undo all the first. It's gonna have to undo the nonsense.
They don't have to. They don't need to erase anything or change anything. Just say, you know what? We learned from our mistakes. Moving forward, this is how we progress. You know what I mean? So I just don't want people to think. I don't think you mean undo as in like do a Days of Future Past and erase shit.
They can't do what they did in this first one.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, it's gonna have to be on lockdown. But you know what? From the way this sounds, I don't think any of them will even come back to do a second one.
Replace them. Who cares? None of them are memorable enough in this movie to matter.
They all doing bigger things.
I mean, that's not an insult either. It's just like that. Like, you could have replaced them with anybody, and it. Oh, by the way, I was totally right about the throwaway "were you adopted" line that they had to throw in to explain the white girl, black guy being brothers thing.
We ain't got time to go into stories all about that.
There was one single solitary throwaway line just to address it, just so it would be like, oh, well, she's adopted. It's like, man, shut up. Ugh. So annoying.
We didn't have time to explain it.
Anywho, so, I mean, I think that sums it up. I would be interested in a sequel.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So, there you go. All in all, I think that you could skip this at the movie theater. You know, if you're a DVD collector, wait for DVD. You could totally, it's safe to wait for Netflix, I think. Hopefully, if they do a second one, they improve and it gets better instead of worse. And hopefully it's not like The Rise of the Silver Surfer, because that was terrible.
So much potential.
There, I saw this awesome like little interview, or not interview, but article about how they think that this takes place inside of the X-Men universe. So there might be some cool mashup stuff there down the road. Who knows?
That's how they'll pull it out of the water. That's how they'll do it.
So yeah, I don't have anything else to add. You?
No.
No. I love how she just like.
Well, I thought I was gonna have something
Cruise
smart ass to say about all these damn comic book movies, but I just couldn't get it together.
I'm
so.
fatigued, man. I'm just
No.
gonna throw it out there. I'm
No.
comic book movie
They
fatigued.
almost
but
might as well have just made it a show.
the Fantastic Four
Yeah.
show, maybe a Fan Four Stick show, Fan Forsto.
Like
show.
that, then they could have. Man,
Nah, we're
Man.
wasting breath at this point.
just no more.
Okay, guys. Well, what'd you think of this video? Have you seen the movie? If you've seen the movie, make sure to let us know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Where can they hit us up at?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Movie Pilot, our own website.
Yeah. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed. For the love of God, subscribe. We've been trying to get to 400 for like a month. We've been sitting at like 390.
We'll be all right.
Subscribe. And other than that, man, thanks for watching us. We really appreciate all the time that you tune in, and we hope that you enjoy the content. If you don't, troll away. Let us know what we're doing wrong. Yeah, that sums it up. I guess we'll see you guys later. Ready to
We love you.
high five it out? Yeah. Boom. Yeah, girl. Bye, Felicia.
I don't want to study.